watching it after I've gone live because I realized I still get views even after I go live, which is great. Um, I'm going to talk about Alex Pereira's allegations, right? Um, I'm going to be very careful about what I say and how I say it. A part of me didn't want to do this stream, largely because um, there's a lot of things that are involved in basically um, having an opinion about these type of things, right? Um, so I personally didn't want to have an opinion, but whenever all these type of things happen, a lot of people like to say, um, "What if it happens to your mother, or what if it happens to your niece, or what if it happens to your little sister?" Um, I've researched, right. Basically, before I even go any further, I'm in the legal field, but I more practice divorce, liquidation of estates. That's basically my section. I don't necessarily practice criminal law, right? So um, my opinion on that, as far as like from a legal perspective, will not be um, heavily influenced by my field of practice. But I know a couple of things that relate to that. So if it's helpful, I will include it. I actually wrote like I don't know, something to read from because I wanted to make sure that everything I wanted to say, I say it how, like, in the best possible way, but I forgot that paper at work, so I just have to do everything from the top of my head. So basically, if you don't know what's happening, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to first tell you basically the situation, and then I'm going to basically give you my opinion. Uh, and if you've seen the description, there's a particular interview that I want you guys to take a look at, right? Because I think without putting any blame, I'm not saying she's lying, and I'm not saying Alex Pereira is innocent. All I'm saying is, if you go on YouTube right now and search um, false accusations of RAPE, there's a long list, a long list of people whose lives have been ruined by different people who've made false accusations. Um, and it honestly sucks that, and please do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying she's lying, right? I'm going to get to the whole story and basically try to bring you on up to speed, basically. So this is basically me recounting basically what she said, and I'll try to give you my opinion. Everything is, at this point, is alleged. So let me get straight into it, right? I'll try to summarize the story as much as possible. There's this OnlyFans girl who is alleging that Alex Pereira basically assaulted her. Um, what she's saying, her story is that Alex Pereira's translator started talking to her friend on social media, and then after talking to her friend on social media, he invited her. However, the bad accusations are staggering, and this could end his UFC career. Does Alex have a good lawyer? Uh, Let me get to it, right? I don't feel like the accusations are as horrible. That's why I was like, oh, the actual assault is bad. I'm saying I don't feel like there's enough evidence for it to end his career. I honestly don't think so. from a legal standpoint. Obviously, she. Okay, you are making me get off topic. I want to first highlight what she's saying, and then I'll get to that. So basically, what she's saying is that her friend was invited to a fight in June. I can't recall specifically, but I think she said in June. So the translator is talking to this girl on social media. Um, I think so too, man. There's a dude in the comment section saying alphabet people need help. What? Okay, I'm not going to comment on that. He says she wants money, but let me get to it, guys. So she says they were communicating on social media, inboxing her. So the translator invited her to a fight, and then she told her friend to bring a friend for Alex Pereira, right? Um, and then the friend who brought this particular OnlyFans girl, so the girl brought this particular OnlyFans girl. So just to make things easier, let me try and explain it this way. Okay, I think I explained it that way, but let me try to make it simpler. The translator was talking to this girl's friend, and then he invited this girl to a fight, and then told this girl, bring a friend for Alex Pereira. According to her, this is her what she said, right? These are not my words. I'm just trying to summarize it for you. So she tells this girl to bring a friend. This particular girl that this translator is talking to brings the OnlyFans girl, right? So according to her, they met up with Alex Pereira and the translator, and she says Alex Pereira was making moves on her, and she felt uncomfortable. Um, with what was happening. I think apparently he was grabbing her in the private. He was suggesting they go into the toilet. So she was saying no, I don't know. I don't normally do that with guys on the first date or on the first day or something like that. And she described him as creepy, right? Bear with me. I'm going to get to it. Like there are certain things for me that honestly I don't feel like make sense. Yeah, she could be telling the truth, but honestly, her story for me. But let me get to it. So after all these things are happening, somehow I think they had a separate hotel, right? And then Alex Pereira and his translator had a separate hotel. So somehow they go back to their hotel. Alex Pereira goes back to his hotel and his translator, and then I think they met up at the fight card. I can't remember. I can't recall what fight card that was, but they met up there, right? And then I think they went back to their separate hotels after that. And then somehow, I think Alex Pereira, according to her, Alex Pereira Ubered her and her friend to their hotel, right? And then after they got there, according to her, Alex Pereira was asking her to get onto the bed with her, and she says she didn't want to, but because he was persisting, she decided to get onto the bed, right? And then, according to her, she says Alex Pereira started touching her, in the downwards area, and yeah, she was basically resisting, according to her. And then what happened was eventually, I don't know if the lights were turned off. It seems like there were two beds in that hotel room. So the translator got into the other bed with this particular girl's friend, and then Alex Pereira was in a bed with this particular OnlyFans girl, right? And then apparently he tried to take her pants off, or rather her underwear off, um, and this girl apparently was resisting. According to her, this is her, like she released 3 videos, so I'm trying to summarize them. So her resistance, according to her, made Alex Pereira angry. He screamed and told his translator to leave the room, with the girls because with the other girl because he wanted to be with this OnlyFans girl alone in this particular room. So the translator and the other girl left the hotel room, and then according to this girl, because of the screaming, she she allowed him to sleep with her. Basically, that's what she say, right? And then the following day, I think they Ubered them back home. Um, so yeah, I think that's in summary, that's the story, right? That's I'll respond to your comments once I'm done with this whole situation, right? So for me, the biggest issue is I would like to highlight the fact that if Alex Pereira did it, I feel like he should be held accountable. But if this girl is making this whole thing up, I feel like she needs to be punished, like significantly, because like the same way I when I opened up this particular stream, I said that if you just go, you don't have to go far. Just on YouTube, just search RAPE allegations, right? False allegations. You'll see like a list of, and it's heartbreaking because these people's lives are ruined, and the only recourse that you have is to sue those particular people. And this person, even if you sue them, a lot of these people do not have a lot of money. So even if you sue them, like it's not like you're going to get anything from that. And particularly in South Africa, I don't know how the United States works, or the United Kingdom, or Canada, or wherever you're from. But in South Africa, there's no like heavy punishment for false accusations. The best thing you can do is just try to sue that person. And I don't feel like it does justice because purely from an accusation, and especially in today's culture, um, in today's culture, um, you you don't have to be proven guilty in order to be guilty on social media, and that's all it takes to destroy your life, right? But I think because UFC is largely watched by men, I don't feel like it's going to significantly affect Alex Pereira's stardom, especially if people like John Jones. John Jones has had so many cases, but let me not speak about this as if Alex Pereira is actually guilty, because there's something that I actually want to tell you. So I linked an interview, right, on this particular video. I linked an interview to a specific dude, like from so I'm trying to show you something that I basically am referring to right now. So I'm going to tell you the story about this particular interview. In South Africa, there was this famous comedian um, who's called the Tallest Mo, right? Tallest Mo was a popular dude, and all these type of things. So it seems there was some type of a corporate event somewhere. Um, so he was doing some work there, and then he left and went home. Out of nowhere, he gets. I think he got arrested, or someone spoke on social media. But the interview is in the comment section, so you'll be able to watch it. So this girl accused him of assaulting her, right? I'm not exaggerating when I say this was one of the craziest. The interview is on 1.7 million views. The interview that I'm talking about. That was one of the craziest things I've ever heard. And the sad part is the guy was found not guilty. It seems like even the judge was like, according to this guy, the judge was also a feminist, so she was trying to side with this girl. But fortunately, she didn't have enough evidence. Her story was so crazy. I remember, I can't recall the actual facts, but I remember there was something about a shadow of this guy assaulting her, not him personally, his shadow. And this was in court, guys. I'm not talking about something that was on a movie or whatever the case is. This was in court, right? Um, okay, let me do not get involved and see social media. Alex gets away with it because the girl does not. Okay, no, I'll get to that, right? So this was one of the craziest things I've ever heard with regards to like these particular cases because I'm not gonna lie, it sounded unhinged. What this girl was saying, or rather, based on what he was saying, it sounded like it sounded crazy, which is sad. And the worst part was they didn't even actually get intimate, according to him. Right? He never touched this girl. He never kissed this girl. They just met at the event, and he knows her. I don't know because she's somewhere in the industry. I think she does the radio, but she's not famous. But I think she's somewhere in the industry. So that's the sad part that you can go to court for doing without even touching a particular person. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to make the stream. Personally, I didn't want to make the stream, but I know that a large majority of my audience is males, especially young guys. So for me personally, the advice that I wanted to give anyone who watches my video is from from now on, guys, make sure that whenever you interact with any girl, communicate what you want. Um, Communicate what you want through social media so that you have proof because you don't necessarily have to touch anyone to be accused of of these particular things, right? All it takes is for that particular person to say he did this to me and your life is going to be ruined forever. So the best thing to do is, even if you know this person, there have been cases of a wife saying her husband assaulted her. There have been cases of girlfriends saying that, and I'm not saying that they are lying, right? But there have been cases that that have shown that these people sometimes make things up. In the past, people when a woman was upset, they could like they used to scratch your car or break your windows and stuff like that. Today they don't have to do that. They just have to go on social media and say he assaulted me. There was another case of two musicians who were in a relationship. I'm not gonna mention their names. So they were in a relationship. This girl found out that this guy was in a polygamous marriage. They eventually broke up, and after a couple of years, I think she opened a case and says there was a time whereby he forced himself on her. Keep in mind, these people were in a relationship. While they were in a relationship, she says that he assaulted her, right? So that's basically why I was saying what I was saying. It's honestly very important for you to be able to have proof because you don't know when it's gonna happen. Like quite literally, every single person who sees this, as long as you're a guy, you can get accused. Like no one is immune to accusation because you don't need any sort of proof. You can ruin someone's life by just going on social media, and because of feminism, there will be a lot of people on social media saying we believe you. Me too. The Me Too movement. That's what it basically does. You have to believe that particular person, whether you have evidence or not. And even if it gets dismissed, because this girl, the interview that I linked, um, it was dismissed. But on social media, they say, well, just because there's no evidence, it doesn't mean it didn't happen, and that's how damaging this can be to anyone's career. So now for me personally, the best advice I can give anyone is, even if you are married, even if you are in a relationship with someone, talk regularly about intimacy. Like, ask those people that you're in a relationship with about certain things that they like, just so that you have some sort of evidence if it ever happens, because I can tell you, don't. It doesn't mean only people who commit assault are the only ones who get accused. That's why I say once you're done watching my video, just search false accusations of RAPE and watch those videos for yourself. One of the most heartbreaking things that I've ever watched on social media. Um, and I feel like women and feminists should also be angry about this particular trend, because then that's why a lot of people, when people who have actually been assaulted come forward, it's hard to believe them, because there are proven cases. This is not my opinion. This is something that has happened. There are multiple cases of people who have outrightly lied. Some of them have even admitted to saying, I lied about that. And someone was in prison. There are people, there was this young boy in South Africa. There was this kid who was in high school, and then he was accused by his schoolmate. I don't know if they were intimate or whatever the case is. So she accused him of assault, and that kid took his own life. Like yeah, basically, I don't want to describe what he did, but he took his own life because of the false accusations. And I can't recall exactly what happened, but I think the girl came out and said, no, he didn't do anything to me. So that's basically why I say, man, like every interaction that you have, even if that person you say it's my girlfriend, this person is, they will never do that to me. I do divorces, guys. I do divorces. I work on divorces. I'm a legal practitioner, but I specifically focus on divorces. I've done magistrates court. I've done high court. Um, People are different when they no longer love you, right? Because it's fun when they're with you, especially in today's time. You guys like bad bitches, right? I'm sorry. I apologize to every woman who's going to watch this. It wasn't an insult to you, but you guys like girls who are wild. You like excitement. You call them exciting. In most cases, those are the people who end up having the ability. But what if you don't value, or if you don't look at morality in a woman that you are going to be intimate with? Whether it's a one night stand or not, it's up to you. But if someone does not have morality and they don't have any religious attachments, they don't have any reason to not lie, you know. So this is me saying, be careful. If those are the kind of girls you like, those are the kind of girls who will probably have no problem saying you did that to them. But I will reiterate, I'm not saying this girl is lying. Whoever is innocent in this situation, I hope they get justice. I hope whoever is lying gets exposed. Um, and it's sad that, this is happening to Alex Pereira at the peak of his career. But if he did this, then um, he should be held accountable. My only concern, the only one of the biggest reasons for why I'm feeling this particular way is that in South Africa there is a culture of girls who meet guys at parties, and then they go home with that particular guy. They obviously smash, and then in the morning the girl requests an absorbent amount of money, and if you refuse, because you just had sex, your DNA is in her and everything like that, she goes to the police and says you assaulted her, and they come and arrest her. Like, I've seen it happen. And even sometimes, like, there have been cases. This is hearsay, but I've seen. I'm just saying it's hearsay because I can't prove what I'm saying. But I've seen it happen. Sometimes even the police are in. I sometimes work with these particular people. They even know what's happening. Um, so the girl goes to the police and say he assaulted me and everything like that. If you don't give her the amount that she wants, and you go to prison, and she can easily prove it because all she has to say, and the story that she has to stick to, is to say, I didn't agree to doing anything with him. He forced me. That's all she has to say. Because she can prove that you just had sex with her, then that's going to be enough to say, okay, there was intimacy. All that she has to prove is, was there consent? So that no, they even have a name for this particular practice. It's called mavuso, which basically translates to a pick me up in a sense. So if you meet a girl at a party, just know that you might have to pay her thousands. Otherwise, you're going to prison. So that's why I feel the way I feel about this particular whole situation. And the fact that she's an OnlyFans model or creator, it's not helping. It's honestly not helping. And her reasoning is that maybe if I speak about it, I'll get peace. But if someone assaulted you, why aren't you going to the police? Why is the first thing that you're going to do is to go on social media? It makes it look like you are trying to get attention as opposed to justice, right? That's how I view it. Like for me personally, if someone stabs me or punches me or knocks me out for absolutely no reason, the first thing I do will not be, let me take my phone and tell the world. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the police, open a case, and try to get justice for myself, right? Um, that sounded like something Kobe Covington would do. I'm just saying, like, the legal way of handling that situation is to first go to the police and try to resolve it that way, as opposed to firstly going on social media and saying, well, I wanted to share this. And another thing is, what she's saying is that her evidence is that she's going to try and get footage that she was with Alex Pereira, but I don't. It doesn't mean much. Like for even if she gets the footage that she was with, it to me it sounds like, because on the video she was saying that damn you going um yeah, I have to. So even if she was saying um even if she got all the footage of her being with Alex Pereira, it doesn't really mean anything, because the argument is it was forceful. So you have to prove the forcefulness of it, not necessarily that you were with him. It's to me it sounds like she's trying to prove that she was with Alex Pereira, because and the only people who are disputing this are people on social media. That's why I have a problem with her going on social media instead of going to the police in the first place. Like, why go on social media? Why isn't the first thing that you are doing is, let me go and open a case? The first thing that you think about doing is, let me go on social media, you know? So to me, the videos that she's saying she's going to try and get do not necessarily prove assault. They just prove that she was with Alex Pereira. And then what's that going to do? Just because you were with someone, and even if she can actually prove there was intimacy, she has to prove it was forceful, right? And it just doesn't feel like that's what she's focusing on. Um, it sucks, man. It sucks. If you want to watch the interview, I encourage you guys. That's one of the most unhinged things I've ever watched. I linked the interview in my comments. Let me try and respond to everyone. Today I was supposed to do my reaction to UFC 308. Maybe I might do it after this. Let me reply to you guys, and maybe I'll decide whether or not I'm going to do um, my reaction. Maybe I should just do it today. So yeah, let me reply to you guys before I Bounce. Um, it's an OnlyFans girl. She wanted money. She she's the devil's people. I don't know, man. At this point, it's hard to say because I don't want to say that she's lying, right? Because ultimately, we don't know. We don't have proof. So I don't want to be in a position whereby I'm now saying she's lying. I'm just saying what she's saying to me. It sounds like she's trying to prove that because there's what exists is only a picture of her with Alex Pereira, right? That's what I've seen so far. So it seems like on her videos, she's trying to say or to prove to people that no, I was with him. It wasn't just a picture because people are saying, well, you're just a fan. You asked for a picture and you posted it, and now you're saying all of this. So it sounds like what she's trying to say because she's saying, well, I'm going to try and get surveillance footage. I'm going to, but it doesn't prove like forceful assault. Like it proves that you were with him, but it doesn't prove that there was anything that was forced on you. Like even like I said, even if you can prove that intimacy did take place, you have to prove that you didn't agree to it. Like that's I, I don't know, man. And especially because she said in the beginning she was saying, well, she found Alex Pereira creepy. So if from the beginning, especially because she's an OnlyFans creator, she probably has the experience of dealing with um, sexual advances from different guys. So if someone is creepy, in your opinion, and you can clearly see that he's what he wants, he's touching you, he's telling you to go to the toilet with him, and before you even go to the fight, before you even, why are you still hanging around with this person if it was forceful? For me, if she said, well, um, I didn't feel comfortable doing it on the first day, but I liked him, so the pressure of not wanting to disappoint him made me do it. That would be more believable for me personally, because at this point, I don't know, man. It sounds like the the first red flag for me is her going on social media um, to say that this whole situation happened without going to the police first. Like, why aren't you going to the police first? That's the first place that you should have started, and then go to social media. And if apart from that, going on social media destroys your case because then you are destroying your ability to get evidence. If he actually did do that, I don't know, he might try to hide whatever evidence exists. So why go on social media instead of going to the police first and let them investigate? By going on social media, you are letting the next person know, okay, I'm feeling this way and I'm going to report you. So you are giving them an opportunity to actually fix or hide the evidence if they actually did do it. So I don't know, man. And I get that she's saying she was assaulted in her past. So, but even then, like if for example you've ever been hijacked before, um, and then you see someone coming towards your car, the first like you're going to have flashbacks to the time you got hijacked, and the first thing you're going to do is drive, right? So if you're in a situation whereby someone is touching you, someone is telling you let's go to the toilet, plus you are an OnlyFans creator, there are so many elements that could have told you, Hore, okay, this guy is probably going to want to do this, and I don't want to. So you leave before it even happens. But on multiple occasions, she had the opportunity to stay at a hotel. I think, like I wasn't there, but even if you are not staying at your hotel, just get an Airbnb or just get a place where you can sleep for that day, get tickets back to your place or go back home somehow, because clearly, according to her on her videos, she was saying, "No, I make my own money. I'm not doing this because I want money from him." So clearly, she has the ability to buy herself a ticket back home, fly back home. So after all these things were happening, after the advances, after the inappropriate touching, with her history of assault, with her calling Alex Pereira creepy, with all these things, why do you keep going back to him? Like you and still go to his hotel. Like why put yourself in those particular situations? You know, and I'm not victim blaming or anything like that. I'm just saying, for me personally, if something as traumatic as being hijacked or assaulted, beaten up somewhere, I don't know, stabbed or whatever the case is, if something as traumatic as that happens to me, then next time I see signs of or a pattern of something like that potentially happening again, I'm going to avoid the situations like that. That's me personally, right? If something horrible happened to me in the past, I'm not going to allow it to happen again. Or rather, especially in a situation that she's describing, it's not like they were together the whole time. They went back to their own space, and then they kept coming. They kept meeting up with Alex Pereira and his translator over and over again, probably maybe 2 or 3 times. So she had the opportunity to say, you know what? I thought that guy was creepy. I had I have an experience with these kind of guys. He was touching me when I didn't want to be touched. He was doing all these things. I don't think I feel comfortable. I'm going to get a ticket back home, or I'm going to sleep here tomorrow morning. I'm going back home. Simple. So why go to the hotel? If all these things didn't happen before, I would understand. She didn't expect it to happen to her, like it was she was caught off guard. But according to her, she was harassed before, and then she went back to her hotel, and then she went back to Alex Pereira's hotel. But ultimately, whether she's an OnlyFans model or not, um, it doesn't mean that it's not possible for her to get assaulted. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, for me, her story, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I think I've said all I wanted to say about this. Let me finish up replying to you guys. If he has to go to jail, it's a problem. If he beats the case, he continues onward. I don't think it'll get that far. I don't think I'm willing to bet money that what's going to happen is this case is going to disappear. I'm willing to bet money because whether or not Alex Pereira did it, I don't think he's going to want the publicity, the negative publicity of taking the case to court. The probability is money might be paid to her, probably a non-disclosure might be signed, and we'll never hear about it. I honestly don't see this case even reaching court. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Because this is a 10-year in jail. Because this is 10 years in jail. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's brutal, man. Especially that's what hurts me. That's one of the things that made me want to do this video, was because I've watched the videos of guys who are released after 8 years in prison, because the lady eventually confessed to have lied about the accusations. Right? There's so many unfortunate cases that happen, and like I was saying earlier, any one of us, every single guy can get accused. Like no one is immune. It just takes someone who hates you enough to be brave, or to have the guts to stick to that story and that's all it takes. You don't even have to be intimate with that person. As long as they hate you enough and they are committed to doing what they want to do, even if you don't go to prison, they are sure they are going to ruin your life, right? And it's surprising to me that women are not even fighting against this, because it makes it delegitimizes people who actually get assaulted, you know. Because now when cases like this happen, like for example the interview I linked below, when cases like that happen, then it makes us question the ones who actually got assaulted, because you're like, but this this particular person said this happened and it didn't, this particular person said it happened and it didn't, and you end up not believing any of them when they say, no, I'm telling you the truth, this happened to me. You end up feeling like, ah, man, I don't believe that, because there are so many different cases of innocent people who end up killing themselves, getting released after 8 years, and their life is never the same. Or even if you don't go to prison, you lose endorsements, you lose your job, you lose everything, which is what has happened in for a lot of people in South Africa. I don't even want to mention, but I'm sure in the United States you can list the people who have been accused, never went to prison, and I'm not saying if you, you know what, let me just continue to respond. Um, she lies, bro. You can tell she was trying so hard, and things she say are very much horrible, rehearsed. Yeah, I don't want to comment on whether or not she's telling the truth, but her story, or rather what she put on social media, for me, it doesn't say she. Okay, let me not have an opinion about that. But I'm just saying it doesn't make sense what she was saying on social media. It just sounds like you're trying to prove to people that you actually were with Alex. You're not trying to prove that you were assaulted, because all she's saying, her evidence is CCTV footage of her getting into the hotel, of her on the side of outside basically with Alex. But I think a lot of girls that Alex has ever been with can say the same thing. You know, like they've seen you in public with him. Like that's not the argument. Seeing being with someone in public or going to their hotel, and going to his hotel makes things worse. Basically, I think for her, because she went there willingly after the incidents that she says happened prior. So after all of that happened, she was still like, you know what? I'm going to go to into that hotel. I don't think anything is going to happen after everything that he did, after touching me, after suggesting we go to the toilet, after all of that. I don't think anything is gonna happen, right? Especially with her past experience of being assaulted, she considered all of that and was like, "Nah, I'm still going there." You know, for me, that's why I say it doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean she's lying. Just that her story, for me, I don't know, man. That that should tell you enough already. Yeah. Um, OnlyFans woman apparently accused him. That says it all. Yeah, that says it all. And she kept on saying the translator is merely. She lies. It was odd, man. That's all I can say. OnlyFans say everything. Yeah, this twister. Just maybe the police do not get involved, and it's just a social media video, and Alex gets away with it because the girl does not press charges. He is not arrested or in jail yet. But that's basically what I was saying. I don't think Alex Pereira is going to. I don't think this is going to get to court. Whether it's true or not, the bad publicity for Alex, I think they're going to resolve this before it even gets to court. That's how I think. I could be wrong, but even what she was saying, I don't think she has like a solid enough case. Um, I don't know, man. I think that's why I have a problem with her going on social media, because the first thing she should have done was go to the police. Now she's released a video that can be used to against her in court, because how she's saying or whatever she's saying, I think that video works against her, to be honest. Um, it works against her heavily. Damn, you're going deep on this one. I have to, man. Like we live in a time whereby I'm not gonna lie, I'm constantly worried. I'm constantly worried because, like I said, there are multiple cases of innocent people who've gone to prison for things like this, and you don't have to have committed anything in order to get in trouble. That's the key word, is innocent people who are in prison. So it doesn't mean only guilty people go to prison. You don't have to be guilty to go to prison. And even if you don't go to prison, you can easily lose everything. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this video, because it's something, obviously, I cover the sport. So it's something that's happening within the sport, and it's something that could literally affect anyone who's watching this video. Absolutely anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. It just takes, and I'm going to repeat this, it takes just one person who hates you enough to say all that, and they are going to believe on social media. Feminists are going to believe her, and even if you don't go to prison, your life will be ruined forever. And that's why I was like, you know what, I want to speak about this a little bit. Um, but once again, I'm not. All of this is alleged, and I'm not saying either one of them is lying. I'm just having an opinion about a video. That's why when the Conor McGregor situation happened, I didn't even comment. All these other situations, I didn't comment because I didn't have enough to have an opinion about that particular topic. This girl made videos. I don't know if it's 20 minutes, like it was long videos that she posted. So that was enough for me to form an opinion, because she, according to what she said, to me, it doesn't make sense. That's the only reason I made this video, because she gave us information and therefore, and put it on a public platform. So I'm having an opinion about that. And to me, even though I don't practice criminal law, and even though I only do divorce, I studied crime and everything like that. To me, it doesn't make sense. And I understand that people in traumatic situations do not make the best decisions. But irrespective of what type of of what type of trauma you experience, the first thing that has to come to your mind is, I need to go to the police. And that's not the first thing that she did. The first thing that came to her mind when she thought I was assaulted, she was like, I need to make a video. And now we're talking about her. Now I'm sure her OnlyFans account is getting more subscribers. I'm not saying that she's do. I'm just saying, when you look at when you look at situations like this, you need to look at what would be the motive on either side. You know. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It just sounds to me like maybe they were intimate. She probably maybe wanted more, in terms of maybe she expected maybe a relationship. Um, Obviously, Alex Pereira is famous. He can have multiple girls in one week if he wanted to. So probably she didn't like being ghosted. I don't know. This is just a theory, um, based on what she posted. Um, she could be telling the truth. Um, We don't know. I hope she proves it. You know, and I will happily come online and say, you know what, Alex Pereira deserved to go to prison if he actually did it, because I have sisters, I have nieces, I have all these people that I'm related to, that I would be livid, I would be upset if it happened to any of them. So if he actually did it, then I feel like he needs to pay for it. Um, just that his story doesn't make sense, and I can't lie and say, well, like it doesn't make sense, right? To me, at least, it doesn't make sense. It just looks like she's trying to prove that she was with Alex instead of trying to prove that she was assaulted. Because all she's focusing on is the surveillance footage, um, to prove that she was with him. Like, no one is disputing that except people on social media. Your argument is that you were assaulted. Your argument is not, no, I was with Alex. No one. That's not an important argument. Don't focus on that. Focus on actually proving that you were assaulted, not that you were with him. We don't care you if you were with him. Prove that you were assaulted. Focus on that. Go to the police. Why aren't you doing that? Um, Damn, you're going deep on this one. I think I responded. I don't believe it happened. He never speaks English, but the only words he says to her is, "Help me put it." I heard that part. I was like, wow, wow, okay. I heard that and I was like, damn. Everything about it seems sketchy. Yeah, man. Like it sounds sketchy to me, man. She just promoting the OF. I think so too. But like I said, she could be telling the truth, because ultimately we cannot just say that because of her line of practice, even though it's it's hard to describe it. Um, but it's not a good practice to be in. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't happen to her. I just feel like her story doesn't make sense, so it's hard to believe what she's saying. She just Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borrallo for August 24 co-main event. Um, Caio Borrallo. That's a sick fight, man. I like the fact that they are pushing Caio. I feel like Caio is talented. Um, Damn, but Jared Cannonier is a very hard fight. I wonder why they're throwing him to the wolves. At least they could have given him Marvin Vittori, maybe. Um, I wonder why. But that's a sick fight, man. That's a sick fight. I seen in the video she felt uncomfortable after the first interaction, but then continues to go back to the hotel 3 times. Yeah, to me, it's like, why go back? The, especially because she says she Alex Pereira was creepy to her. That's number one. She says he was touching her and she didn't like it. She says he was asking her to go to the toilet with her and she wasn't going to sleep with him. And then she says, what did she also say? But basically, she didn't want to. Oh, and she said she has a history of being assaulted. So combine all of those elements, right? And then on the first interaction, that happens all at once. Aren't you in your head saying, this has happened to me in the past? Let me remove myself from the situation. Why go back 3 times? Worst part, like, fine, let's say you wanted to see the fight, maybe you got free tickets. Go to the fight. And according to her, they didn't go together to the fight. So go to the fight. After the fight, and if I recall, what happened is after the fight, they didn't even go back together to the hotel. The girls went back to their separate hotel, and Alex Pereira later, I think, probably went to his hotel and then Ubered them to his hotel. I understand if maybe the first interaction you felt uncomfortable, but you were like, no, free tickets. I want to see that fight. I want to be at the pay per view or that fight night. I don't know where it happened. You can go to that event and then after that refuse to go to his hotel. Like when a dude has been touching you the whole time and then he says come to my hotel, like as an OnlyFans model, you know what this guy wants. With a history of being assaulted, you probably know what he wants. With him touching you and making suggestions of you guys going to the bathroom to do things, you know what this guy is calling you to the hotel for. Why are you going there? So I also feel like, man, that's why I said in the video that the videos she posted work against her. Because what she's saying, it's like, come on, man. Like it's like someone pointing a gun at you and saying, I'll kill you. And then after that, you go back to that particular person and you chill with them. And then after that, late at night, that person says, come through to my place. After they've threatened you that day, like, why would you go to that person? You know they want to they want to kill you. Like, why are you going there? But for me, the first alarm is, why aren't you opening a case first before you go on social media? Like, why? Her being an OnlyFans creator already tells the type of. Okay, I don't want to comment too much. Paying her to go away is the best option then, or they might even off her. I don't know about offing her. I think they are probably going to pay her. I think, look at John Jones. John Jones has had so many cases, and none of them have ever actually gone anywhere. So, and that's why I'm trying to be careful not to say she's lying. I'm just saying what she posted doesn't make sense to me. Right? I'm not saying she's lying because we have people like John Jones who've done all these things, and it's hard to dispute them. But in this particular situation, what she has posted, the story that she told, I'm not saying what she's alleging is a lie. I'm just saying the video of the whole situation does not make sense. That's all I'm saying. Um, I saw a video of her saying that if Sean O'Malley beat Cheeto Vera, she would flash her bazookas, and she did. Oh my flipping! Are you serious, dude? No, there's no way. There's no way, dude. There's no way. I don't. Let me read this comment again. I saw a video of her saying that if Sean O'Malley beat Cheeto Vera, she would flash her bazookas, and she did. But then again, like I said, the argument is, well, just because she's an OnlyFans creator doesn't mean that she can't get assaulted. So I'm going to stay away from saying she's making it. But man, this does not look good for her, man. Like, in all honesty. Also said she didn't know nothing about UFC. That that it was her first ever, but deleted previous videos of her being at the UFC events. Oh snap! I didn't even consider that when. Dude, by the way, why do you have so many alphabets on your name? I don't know what to call you now. And you are one of my most loyal subscribers. I don't even know what to call you. But clearly, she has been to an event before because apparently she said if Sean O'Malley beat Cheeto Vera, she would flash her bazookas, and she did. So, and I heard that part. She said that was she didn't even know anything about the UFC. Her friend is the one who introduced her, and all these type of things. But like, how are you watching and flashing for Sean O'Malley? Like, if you don't know anything about the UFC. So that's a valid point. That's actually a valid point. Um, which is crazy. Like, okay, her case is not looking good, man. I don't want to lie. Nah, that always like she wanted to do that shit. Eh, okay, I don't want to have an opinion about that. Whether or not she's lying, I don't want to have too much of an opinion. I just got here. What are the allegations? Um, I think once I'm done with the stream, I went through everything. It's a lot. I honestly didn't want to do the stream, but I just did it because I will repeat myself. It can happen to any one of us. If you are watching this, it can happen to you. Anyone. No one is immune. You don't have to be guilty to get accused. It can happen to anyone. And that's why I was like, you know what? Let me give my people my opinion and my advice, record everything. And you don't have to do it like in a way that is going to be creepy. Guys, don't be creepy, but there's a flirtatious, like flirt, on social media, say, suggest what you want from that particular person so that if anything happens in the future, you can at least say there are texts. Here are the texts because quite literally it can happen to you. Anyone. My brother is in jail for 9 years and is still in jail until next year because a statement made from a girl. Shit. Shit. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. Um, yeah, I don't even know what to say to that, man. Yeah, that's brutal. Yo, that's a lot. Pereira probably yells Shama over and over again, and that's how they ID him. What kind of world do we live in where all these hoes have so much power? Guys, I'm not the one saying this. I'm reading comments. But that's the world, man. In today's time, I'm not gonna lie. I live in fear, guys. It really scares me. I've become paranoid. You know, um, I've become paranoid. I, I record like quite literally. I think every single girl that I've ever been with, somewhere on social media, the conversation of us being into like 90% or 99% of every person that I've ever been with, um, somewhere on social media, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, somehow I've managed to make them say um, that what we were doing was consensual or whatever the case is. But in a flirtations, like maybe I flirt with them, like maybe saying, "Yeah, that was incredible," right? And then she's like, "Oh yeah, no, man, I enjoyed it. Maybe we should do it again." Things like that, just so that if anything like that happens, I have some sort of proof. My only concern is that some of my conversations were on WhatsApp and phones. I don't know if I can retrieve all those conversations, but I keep all my phones that I've ever used. That's how paranoid I am, man. Like it sucks, but this is the world we live in today. It can happen to anyone, and sadly, you don't have to be guilty. You know, if someone hates you enough, you're on the list. World run by evil. She said Alex left hooked her. She said Alex left hooked her where the sun doesn't shine. Wow. Wait, who accused Alex Pereira? Watch the whole stream. I'm about to finish the stream. I thought I would be doing 308 a reaction to UFC 308. The card is stacked. Maybe I'll do the video tomorrow. I'm excited for that card, man. And even the Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Duplessis, I feel like that's one of the reasons why they didn't stack that card. It's because they know that that main event is is money, right? I'm really excited for that card. But I'll do like a reaction to 308 tomorrow. Wow, this was an hour. Anyway, in conclusion, record everything you do. It doesn't matter if you are with it's your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever. As much as possible, make sure that you speak to them on social media, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Facebook, or whatever, just so that you have proof. Because there are cases of wives and girlfriends who've said they've been assaulted. So you're not immune just because you're in a relationship or a marriage. Record everything because I deal with divorce, and when divorce comes, people are significantly different. Um, and I'm not saying Alex is telling the truth. I'm not saying this girl is lying. All I'm saying, what she posted on social media, to me, there are a lot of flaws in what she said. Maybe she can still prove it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I honestly don't see it even getting to court. I feel like this is going to disappear at some point. Um, Money fixes everything, in my opinion. So yeah. What else did I want to say? I think I'll see you guys tomorrow. This week's card is so horrible, guys. I'm not looking forward to the upsets predictions. By the way, the upsets predictions will be Friday. And thank you to all my subscribers that were cheering me up. It's crazy to hear to hear that I was so down, even though I got 11 fights correct, and the two fights that I got wrong were like destroying me emotionally. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow or Friday. It just depends on whether or not I feel like. If you guys want me to do the UFC 308, I still probably will do it, but I just want to hear what you guys have to say. You let me know. I love and appreciate you. Until next time, deuces.